Hola amigos, what is up? This is Townsfire and welcome back to Let's Play Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards, right into action! Now, this is a post-commentary, as you can probably tell from the lack of side effects and the fact that the music's in a clear quality, because I didn't want to go through 3 hours of footage just doing live commentary and stuff. I would rather just do post-commentary. I was kind of fucking around a little bit, using a guide to figure out where some of the crystal shards were that I missed, and having to do several retries on easy crystal shards that I managed to miss because I was stupid, dumb, and a little baby man who apparently can't play Kirby correctly. So yeah, the first 3.5 minutes of this are actually probably going to be the most intact that the footage is going to be. For the majority of this footage, I'm just going to be cutting between the Crystal Shard locations somewhat awkwardly. It's just going to be a bunch of jump cuts, so for those of you who were big fans of teenagers' vlogs in the early days of YouTube, it's probably going to remind you of home. Home is where the horrible jump cuts are. So I did miss quite a few Crystal Shards. I do have a lot of footage here to show, and as I did say, I did spend 3 hours or, 2.5 hours or something like that, trying to find all of the crystal shards. There were quite a few of them that I actually missed, and I did actually have to pull up a guide in order to find some of these crystal shards. Some of them were in very obvious locations, which we will be seeing later, but for now, let's just assume that they were all cleverly hidden by devious masterminds. So one thing I do actually have to address real quick before we get into the whole meat and potatoes of this jump cut fest is going to be the upload schedule for the remaining of the video. The remaining of the video... Wow. Andrew, your English skills impress me. Always. So one of the things I do have to say is I'm going to be finishing up Kirby 64 uploads before I get back to Mario 64, and that's partly because the next video is actually going to be very editing intensive, and in fact, I actually am probably going to be saving it for after we take on Rainbow Ride, the last course in the game, as well as after we take on the Wing Cap and all that other stuff, because I actually am going to be doing showing all 15 of the 100 coin missions in one video, and it is going to be kind of visually intensive upload. I am basically going to be showing all 15 stages at once, which might be pretty cool. I may actually use some of the commentary I did record on the 100 coin missions to kind of just have side videos uploaded that'll probably be like unlisted and you can click an annotation to see it, but that's if there's really a demand for it. I don't think my commentary for the 100 coin missions was really all that interesting. I mean, it's 100 coins. You guys have seen it once, so you've pretty much seen it all, but I don't know, I did discover some interesting things collecting those 100 coins, so that was kind of cool. But yeah, here's a power that I didn't actually show off, and we are going to be seeing quite a few different powers here. So this is actually a kind of electromagnetic yo-yo rock stone doohickey, which is actually a pretty cool power. It's pretty strong. Now, I guess I also have to say this, Gundam Reborn will resume after Mario 64 ends. I'm sorry for people who were, kind of watching it and kind of a big fan of it. We only have 2 Gundam Reborn series left, the Seed Destiny and Gundam Unicorn chapters. We're not going to be doing Ultimate Mode. I may do Ultimate Mode as a later date, or if I have the opportunity to actually stream console footage, like I get an Elgato or something, I might stream that. I actually would really like to get to streaming console games and stuff because, as fun as PC games are, there's not really that many that I can stream very well. A lot of them are multiplayer things, and the latency kinda sucks, So, getting into the next area, the next crystal shard I had missed, which was again in a fairly obvious location. But first, I actually wanted to use this to show off more of what this yo-yo can do. It'll travel outwards, and the quote-unquote string of the yo-yo can even break these little blocks here. It's very nice. It's actually a pretty strong power, and if you know how to use it, you can definitely wreck house. You can wreck an entire house. How dare you? That's property damage. very insensitive. Alright, we got Lure the Rock. There we go. Kill these skull guys and get ourselves Obvious Crystal Shard number 1. Now, Obvious Crystal Shard number 2 is vaguely hidden, but it's actually up here. You have to dodge these spinal columns in order to get it, but if you can fight the current, row, fight the power, you see that crystal shard up there? Well, it's mine now. Haha! There ain't nothing you can do about it. Now here's one that I'm mega bummed that I missed. It required me to use Bomb and Spark, the light bulb power, but you can actually illuminate these panels, which will show you the 3 symbols you actually need. I didn't realize this was before I knew that you could depress the panels by pressing down, because I learned that in Shiver Star, but you basically find the panels that you need, press them in the specific order, so in this case, sun, fish, and not carrot, it's not a carrot, sun, fish, and tree, and Merry Christmas! We get ourselves another crystal shard for our troubles. Absolutely lovely! So, I also do have to say something about this. It's kind of weird to be talking about all of these crystal shards, because I can't actually remember the planet names right now. I've got the soundtrack going for the editing and stuff, because I'm watching this in the editing and post. And honestly, it's kind of cool to be able to see, you know, the Japanese names for things, because the soundtrack uses the Japanese names for things, but it makes it hard for me to realize what planets are what. It's just like, oh, we're listening to Erlund Star, or Horobita Star, or Buru Buru Star. I believe I may have just actually offended entire Japanese, you know, an island nation, but, whatever. It's not a Tales of Farbaga video without me shoving my foot in my mouth, or my head up my ass, or both maybe even. Now here's another power that I'm mega bummed I didn't show off. The Exploding Shuriken. It's practically a hit scan well, not really a hit scan, but it's an incredibly fast projectile. I guess it's not hit scan because it doesn't hit the opponent instantly. Now here's one that I'm kind of bummed that I missed. This mini-boss? You saw that crystal shard there, didn't you? I go back up and it's not there anymore. The Anger. But the crystal shard that I actually did want to show off here because it's in a slightly not obvious to reach location is that one up there. Now you may be thinking, oh, I can just fly up there, but you actually can't because Kirby has a stamina meter. What I didn't realize was that actually all of the Kirby's Dream Land 3 animal helpers can be used as the stone cutter form, but what we really want is Rick, because he has the ability to climb walls. But yeah, Stone Cutter is actually really cool because it's basically a giant Easter egg. You can play as a bunch of your animal helpers from the Kirby's Dream Land games like Coo, Kine, Pitch, Rick, all kinds of stuff. But basically you just gotta straddle the wall, ride the train, thrust it, show it how big your Rick is, and once you get to the very top, you get another crystal shard for your trouble. It's very nice. The Stone Hamster. Now here we are back at the Exploding Shuriken for another underwater current thing. Now, I actually kind of missed this one, and it's in somewhat of a not that hidden location. What you actually want to do is hug the left here, because it's actually along the top of the ceiling in this room in particular, but you need to reach the top first. It's best to just hug the left wall, because the current that's going to blow you is actually going to blow you to the right. So if you're hugging the right wall, you're not going to be able to get it since the current is stronger than Kirby can actually swim, but there we go. There's another crystal shard for our troubles. I do believe that one may have actually been on screen at some point. Speaking of crystal shards that have been on screen, can you guess what crystal shard I missed in the last episodes? Oh boy, well, the shuriken are at least coming in handy. Yeah, so as you can see, there is actually kind of a delay over long distance, so it's not a proper hit scan, but it's still a very fast projectile. But basically get to the bottom, and there's your crystal shard. Now here's one, epic rock dodging. Aw man, if there's anything to get your rocks off, never mind. But regardless of that, it wasn't necessarily that epic because we got hit, but we got a Crystal Shard, which is quite nice. Now I just have to swim to the exit. Or not! Aha! We're actually in Neostar now, and there's Crystal Shard number 1 that I missed in this stage. Now Crystal Shard number 2 that I missed in this stage is actually in a very obvious position. Very obvious. You want to see where it is? Wow, that was difficult. I'm mega bummed that I missed that one. Now this one, on the other hand, I am not surprised that I missed this, because in all honesty, I'm pretty garbo at Kirby, at minecart sections and stuff. But there we go, that's a Crystal Shard, and speaking of Crystal Shards, use the dynamite power on this wall. Boom! There we go. Boom goes the dynamite. We get ourselves a lovely Crystal Shard. Now here's another room that's kind of weird. Adeline here actually has a painting of either a pizza, a top hat, or an umbrella. And depending on which picture it is, you actually do need to arrange the blocks in a certain way. I did kind of screw it up on the actual run where I got the top hat, but here, with the pizza, we're gonna be learning. I actually did have to look up a guide to see the exact shapes that I needed to use in order to get this Crystal Shard. But, hey, you know what? If we can get a Crystal Shard from a pizza, that's alright with me. Kind of paused there to figure out what my next course of action is, but just gotta break these blocks. Break those blocks, Kirby, you can do it. Show them who's boss. I was also trying to be very careful, because your jump will break blocks and completely invalidate your run, so you may have to do it again. But regardless, there's our Crystal Shard pizza. Delicious! I wonder if that costs extra. Now here's another Crystal Shard that I missed in a somewhat obvious location. It is kind of hidden, but that star there tips you off. Just gotta fall. Fallen star. Here's another Crystal Shard that's in kind of a devious place. Break this pillar. There it is. So proud. Now here's the second Crystal Shard I missed. There's lava there though, so you don't want to walk into that. You gotta play it smart. Don't start. Crystal Shard number 3, I missed this because I was afraid of lava chasing me and stuff. But it's right there. It's in a somewhat obvious position, but you just don't want that lava to catch up with you. Now you gotta burn open this, melt it. Because World 5 starts introducing mini-boss star things that you have to be careful about. Like, you have to kill the boss, but you also gotta use a specific power to break open where the Crystal Shard is. So, yeah, that snowman didn't stand a chance, but I missed the Crystal Shard the first time around. Same thing with this. This happy guy right here? Oh yeah, he looks super jolly and happy. But we've got to use our lightning rod power and murder him. And get ourselves another Crystal Shard. And for the last few Crystal Shards, well, besides this one, where I had to use the power of the Giga Drill Breaker right here, to break open 3 different blocks in order to actually get this Crystal Shard. There we go. I'm mega bummed that I didn't get this one. Why did I pick a mega bummed? But I'm bummed because I actually really like the drill power and I didn't think to use it. The last 3 here, I actually did have a recording error that scrapped the original recording, but here's the Crystal Shards of Ripple Star. Don't blink or you might miss them. And there we go. There's all the Crystal Shards that we missed in the original playthrough. So, with that being said, I think in the next episode, let's say we fight the final boss once more and get the true ending. The real ending. It's a real ending. I'll see you guys later. This is Tails5Ranga signing out. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Because you just sat through like 15 minutes of the most awkward post-commentary you've ever heard in your life, seriously. Just leave, please.